Your body does not age because time passes. It ages because of the things you stop doing. The wellness industry has made billions of dollars from the idea that staying young requires products, therapies, and interventions. But in Okinawa, which has the highest rate of centenarians in the world, no one buys into that. They have 10 habits. All of them are free. All of them can be started today. And the 10th one, the one that most Westerners completely ignore, might be the most important of them all. After 50, the body does not need to become the enemy. It just needs to be reminded of what it already knows how to do: moving, resting, connecting, and pausing. The things that modern life has slowly taken away, not out of malice, but because no one reminds us to keep them. These 10 habits are that reminder. We will go through these 10 things in groups, not one by one. It is not a list to memorize. It is a picture of a way of life that when you look at the whole, you will see why it works and why it does not cost a thing. The first group is how you eat. The first thing, Hara pronounced as Hara, meaning eating until you are 80% full and then stopping. Not out of discipline, out of biology. The stomach needs about 20 minutes to signal to the brain that it is full. Eating to 80% is eating to the point where your brain will realize it is enough 20 minutes later. The National Institute on Aging in the United States found that mild and consistent calorie restriction significantly reduces signs of chronic inflammation, which is behind most age-related diseases. The Okinawans do not count calories. They just stop before they are full. That is all. The quiet practice here is this: eat 20% slower than usual. Put your chopsticks or fork down between bites. Ask your body, not your plate, when it has had enough. The second thing, the Japanese eat something every morning that most Westerners have never heard of. Natto, fermented soybeans, contains vitamin K2, which is almost completely absent from the Western diet. Vitamin K2 transports calcium into the bones instead of letting it build up in the arteries. Japanese women have the lowest rate of osteoporosis in Asia, not because they drink more milk, but because their gut bacteria create a different environment. You do not need to eat natto, but you need to understand that the gut is not just a digestive system. It is your second immune system. The quiet practice here is this: add one fermented food to your day. Kimchi, miso, kefir, pickles, anything alive that has real bacteria. But that is only one layer of this. The second group is how you move. The third thing, Rajio taiso, pronounced as Rajio taiso, meaning radio calisthenics, 10 minutes of light movement every morning, practiced in Japan since 1928. It is not cardio. It is not the gym. These are gentle movements that stretch the joints, activate the lymphatic system, and raise the body temperature just enough to start the day. A 2019 study from Waseda University in Tokyo showed that older adults who regularly practice Rajio taiso have 30% better balance than the non-exercising group, which prevents falls, the leading cause of death after 70. The quiet practice here is this: 10 minutes every morning. Before checking your phone, stretch, rotate your joints, breathe. You do not need to know the exact Rajio taiso routine. You just need to move your body before your brain starts worrying. The fourth thing, Shinrin yoku, pronounced as Shinrin yoku, meaning forest bathing, not hiking, not exercising, just simply being present in nature. Nippon Medical School Hospital in Tokyo measured cortisol, the stress hormone, before and after a 30-minute walk in the woods. Cortisol levels dropped by an average of 16%. Furthermore, trees release phytotoxins, which are antibacterial chemical compounds that, when inhaled, activate natural killer cells in your immune system. Those cells are the first line of defense against cancer cells. You do not need a forest, a park, a line of trees, 15 minutes with no phone. The body knows exactly what to do with that. The quiet practice here is this: once a day, go outside with no destination in mind, no podcasts, no phone. Just walk and let your eyes look at green things. Let that sink in, because the next two things completely change how you think about aging. The third group is how you connect. Here is what no one tells you in the doctor office. Chronic loneliness has the same impact on your lifespan as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It is not a metaphor. That is the result from a meta-analysis of over 380 studies published by Brigham Young University. Your immune system is not separate from the feeling you have about being connected to others. They are the exact same system. And the Japanese knew this long before science ever proved it. The fifth thing, Moai, pronounced as Moai, meaning a group of lifelong companions, not just casual friends, people you share resources with, support, and hold accountable. In Okinawa, children are placed into Moai groups from a very young age. Those groups often last well into their 90s. It is not social media. It is not a high school reunion. These are people who truly know how you are doing and actually ask. The quiet practice here is this. Identify 2 or 3 people you want to meet with regularly. It does not have to be a special occasion, just regular. Set a schedule. Keep it. Your body depends on this more than any vitamin. The sixth thing, ikigai, pronounced as ikigai, meaning the reason to wake up every morning. In Okinawa, there is no equivalent word for retirement. Not because they lack the concept, but because ceasing to contribute to life is incompatible with how they think about existing. A study from Tohoku University followed over 43,000 Japanese people for 7 years and found that those with a clear ikigai had a 19% lower risk of mortality during that period. Not because they were happier, because their cortisol was lower, because their telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes that determine how fast cells age, are longer in people who have a sense of purpose. If you want to start finding your ikigai, the link to the notebook I use for this is in the description below. The quiet practice here is this. Write down one thing you do where time passes without you even noticing. That is the first clue to your ikigai. But that is only one layer of this. The fourth group is how you view time. The seventh thing, the thing that Western gym culture completely overlooks. The intentional empty space applied to movement means that resting is not a failure. It is a part of the cycle. After 50, the body recovers slower, not because it is weaker, but because it needs more time to regenerate. Movement without a conscious pause, accumulates chronic inflammation instead of reducing it. Older Japanese people do not work out intensely. They work out consistently. That is the difference between wearing yourself down and maintaining yourself. The quiet practice here is this. After every workout, even a short one, sit still for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, just to let your body know that it has been acknowledged. The eighth thing, kintsukuroi, pronounced as kintsukuroi, meaning the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making the crack the most beautiful part of the object. This is the part most people walk right past without realizing. Fighting the signs of aging, wrinkles, gray hair, creaky joints, triggers a chronic stress response. Cortisol rises, inflammation increases, cells age faster. The paradox is that accepting your age actually slows it down. It is not passive. It is not giving up. It is the difference between working with your body and fighting against it. Your body at 50 or 60 is not a broken version of your body at 30. It is a version that has been repaired with gold. The quiet practice here is this. The next time you look in the mirror and judge something, ask yourself, this is a sign of what has happened, not what has gone wrong. And the final 2 things, this is where all the rest are either reinforced or destroyed. The fifth group is how you rest. The ninth thing, ofuro, pronounced as ofuro, meaning the evening hot bath ritual. Not for hygiene, but for transition. The Japanese take an ofuro bath not to get clean, but to signal to the body that the day is over. The mechanism is that when you soak in hot water of about 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 40 degrees Celsius, your body temperature temporarily rises. When you get out of the tub, your temperature drops quickly, and that temperature drop triggers melatonin, signaling to the brain that it is time for deep sleep. A 2019 study from the University of Texas at Austin showed that taking a warm bath 1 to 2 hours before bed improves sleep quality by 10%. No pills, no devices needed. The quiet practice here is this: 15 minutes of a warm bath, not scalding hot, 1 to 2 hours before sleeping. No phone after getting out of the bathtub. The 10th thing, the one that most Westerners completely ignore: nimuri, pronounced as nimuri, meaning, but in the Japanese sense, it does not start when you close your eyes. It starts 1 to 2 hours before that. The Japanese have a practice called preparing for sleep: dimming the lights, lowering the room temperature, turning off screens, having a cup of warm tea, or a small ritual that signals to the nervous system that it is time to transition. Here is the reason this is more important than any other habit. During deep sleep, the brain releases growth hormone, which is the only thing that triggers true cellular regeneration in the body. Not when you exercise, not when you eat right, when you sleep deeply. If you sleep enough hours but not deeply enough, all the other 9 habits operate at a fraction of their efficiency. Sleep is not a break from life. It is when life actually happens inside your body. The quiet practice here is this: 1 hour before bed, turn off your screens. Not because phones are bad, because blue light suppresses melatonin right when the body needs it most. 1 quiet hour, that is all. These 10 things are not random. Look back at them, and you will see a circle. Eating properly reduces inflammation. Light movement maintains the joints and the immune system. Social connection reduces chronic cortisol. A sense of purpose lengthens telomeres. Accepting your age stops the silent cortisol battle, and deep sleep regenerates everything else. The Okinawans do not do these 10 things consciously. They are just the way they live, by cultural design, not by individual effort. That is the reason it is sustainable. Not because they have stronger willpower, because they do not have to try to remember these things. They are just normal life. And that normal life, over many decades, adds up to what Western medicine calls extraordinary. After 50, your body does not need you to fight for it. It needs you to work with it. That distinction between fighting and collaborating is a difference that the Japanese have known for hundreds of years. You do not need all 10. You just need to start with one. The one thing that when you heard it, you immediately thought, this is what I already knew I needed to do. Leave a comment with that thing. Not because I need to know, because saying it out loud is the first step of any practice. The book that paved the way for this perspective on aging, the link is in the description below. Less noise, a clearer life. That is the method.